Year 2042. COWS, also known as Composite Orbital Early Warning System. It is a project created and maintained by SCP Foundation. This project involves several personnel embedded within different space agencies and international associations related to space exploration. This project monitors and explores extraterrestrial SCPs that are located in the space. Jim was about to leave his post, since he was done with the today's shift, but suddenly his computer started beeping. Jim knew that something is going wrong. He checked what kind of anomaly is happening in the space right now. When he found out what was it, he was terrified. He quickly went to the command center and informed General Scott about the bad news. Before I tell you what was the news, let's go back a little bit. Year 1940. Astrophysicist Mr. Dwight was observing sun through his telescope. He was mainly studying the sun and its nature. While studying, something caught his attention. He was sure that he saw something blinks on the south polar region of the sun. He looked closely. He was sure that he saw some alien-like creature. He went to SCP Foundation. SCP Foundation brought bigger telescope, and they started monitoring south pole of the sun. It looked like a woman. She had a very long hair. Her arms were crossed. SCP Foundation declared her as SCP-179 and then continued monitoring activities of her. At the end of the same year, she raises an arm towards an undetected interplanetary object that was coming towards the Earth. After the impact of that object with the city, more than 1,000 people were dead. SCP Foundation concluded that she knew it was a threat to the people of Earth. That's why she was pointing towards it. But who was she? What was her purpose? Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about SCP-179 Sauelsuesor. She is also known as Sister of the Sun. SCP-179 is a humanoid entity located at a constant distance of approximately 40,000 kilometers from the south polar region of the Sun. It was discovered in 1940. Since then, SCP Foundation was observing her activities, and they defined the external appearance of SCP-179 as a human female of 20 to 40 years of age. Its entire bodily surface is covered in or composed of a matte black material. Its hair appears to be composed of this material too. Its hair measures over 34 kilometers long and is constantly pushed away by solar wind. However, this part of SCP-179 seems to reflect variable amounts of sunlight. This reflection being the phenomenon that indicated its existence to Foundation by astrophysicist Dwight during 1940. Several markings, or tattoos, are placed throughout its bodily midline. Judging from their brightness, these markings might be of metallic composition and of a golden hue. There is symbol of gold present in subject's forehead, right underneath the hairline. The symbol of Mercury is present under the nose, circling both lips. The symbol of copper is located between the medial ends of its clavicles. Symbol of human heart placed over the location where a heart would be. The symbol of iron located in the upper region, and tin in the lower abdominal region. Part of a final symbol in the pelvic region. While the anatomy of this region makes its clear observation difficult, it has been hypothesized that the symbol of lead is also present and complete in the perineum region. Most recorded movements performed by SCP-179 have been related to extraterrestrial threats to the mankind. These threats are both anomalous and non-anomalous in nature. These threats are types of collision or orbital insertion course with the Earth. These threatening items have been identified as capable of causing CK-class reconfiguration events. That means they are directly threat to the Earth and people living on it. If impact with Earth or orbital insertion occurs without proper response and not contained by Foundation operatives, these items may be capable of causing end-of-the-world scenarios. SCP-179 will usually address an item or items of interest by pointing at them with an arm. If more threats are present, it will create more hands automatically to point them out as needed. 23rd movement of SCP-179 was recorded on 1949. She pointed towards an asteroid which was coming towards Earth. The Foundation uses a combination of several SCP objects to launch a remote-controlled interplanetary vehicle. This vehicle used gravitational power and pushed asteroid away from the Earth. This mission was success on year 1951. 403rd movement of SCP-179 was recorded on 1998. She stopped watching Earth for almost 2.5 days and started looking towards Jovian's system. After the interval, she started looking at the Earth again. It was rumored that she might have been looking towards SCP-2399, the malfunctioning destroyer, which was located on the Jupiter. SCP-179 is sensitive to all radiation in the electromagnetic spectrum and able to communicate through multiple anomalous means. Until now, SCP Foundation was able to communicate to SCP-179 only once in year 2003. She was first approached by a microsatellite probe which was dedicated for secret operations. They found out that she was fluent in French language.
Hello, I'm the Lookout. My name is Sauelsuesor. Do you like my brother? I like him too. He is big and so very warm. If you want to talk to me, please use your satellite to talk to me. It'll be easier than coming here probably.
In the later conversations, SCP-179 refused to reveal any more detail about her. She told SCP Foundation to rely on her for any possible future threats. In the end, she smiles and went offline. Despite several communication attempts, SCP-179 did not perform any other movements nor transmit other messages. After this event, this SCP was reclassified from Safe to Thalmil class. Thalmil class SCPs are anomalies that the Foundation specifically uses to contain other SCPs. SCP-179 acts as guardian angel of the Earth. She informs people of Earth about possible threats by pointing towards them. Let's go back to the future in Cow's headquarters, where Jim told General Scott about the bad news. General Scott ordered to start live feed of SCP-179. SCP Foundation discovered one tale which could be possible SCP-001. It was not sure if this tale come from the future, or it comes from another world. That tale indicates that one day an apocalyptic event will happen, and all the humanity will be destroyed. This apocalyptic event will be triggered by the sun. That tale was named When Day Breaks. Jim understood that today was that day as he saw SCP-179 pointing towards her own broken brother, the sun. I never thought that I could ever reach 100 subscribers. You guys are really awesome. Thank you for all the likes, comments, and suggestions. I will see you in the next video.